A little spoiler alert for my story. This is my attempt to create a new myth. It's about an entity now let loose in modern times, once trapped in the coal seams. The forests, the mountaintops that once held it in are now gone. It is hard to convey in a short story, but if I explained more, it would be too long, too boring. So thanks. This is my story called Alien Land. Alright. Alien Land again. I am an alias in an alien land, left trapped in the time I am. I have no questions, yet search for answers to no particular thing, just for simplicity to understand. Having just graduated high school in this eastern Kentucky, Ohio River town, I am anxious to experience unknown realities beyond this world I have known. Standing at the entrance ramp for West I-64 in Canonsburg, the warm, bright sun cannot hide the dirty environment that surrounds me. I hold my thumb high, a big smile on my face. I step onto the highway entrance ramp with nothing but youth on my side. I have all I need. With this cloth blanket, my back pocket holds my bandana and blues heart. Wanderlust, a seeker, a hobo, a traveler. I am Travelin Dave. The rides I am catching offer no danger, while the scenery passes in green shades of trees and grass-covered hillsides. Innocence over confidence in my fellow man, I am on my way to spend my summer break before college, seeking these new lands. The sun's rays through billowy clouds never change direction throughout my days. I search where the highway leads me. My crossing the great muddy river dividing the continent brings to mind stories I have read and heard. Head against the car window, these tires bump along with the rhythms of the road as the landscape changes to dull browns and green coppers. Looking out the windshield, the sky approaching from the direction I am going offers no solutions. I happened on to work for a prospector in northern Nevada, hiking up mountain slopes about 1,500 feet and setting out posts around 500 feet. One dry, sunny day, I experienced a rare spiritual awakening halfway up a boulder-strewn slope. Stopping to gaze around me, at first only shadows from clouds passed across the valley below me, when suddenly the whole valley filled with stampeding buffalo in groups turning direction together. Turning back to my task ahead, I see my shadow change from stick figure to full-bodied apparition, holding a raised spear. Feathers dancing around my head as if my consciousness has stepped away, and I could hear native yells coming from my mouth as see my shadow thrusting the spear toward the sky. I stepped back into myself knowing that I have never heard these calls before. Looking downward between my feet, there is what appears to be an ancient chipping tool made from stone unlike the type found in this area. It is impossible to guess the odds of finding this nestled between two rocks on a mountainside strewn with boulders, but I pick it up, storing it in my tool pouch. I know the area is a little thinner at 4,000 feet above Hawthorne, Nevada, but I swear, when rounding the top of the mountain, what appears to me are several native men dancing around a pole chanting. As they fade out, the prospectors stand in their place. Indeed, there is a long pole standing upright in the center of the small mesa, draped in multicolored flagging. 10 to 20 foot strands fluttering in the breeze. My boss is awful proud of that, but the man I don't know, hands on his hips, looks up at it in disbelief. Now summer break is growing short. I must return home to the hills of eastern Kentucky. What great lands to see and people to meet, but I have to leave. Relying on my feet for miles and catching rides at major intersecting highways, I leave this quest behind. Hours upon days, great distances I travel as the weight of my body and mind dissipate into the thin, dry air. Walking on the bridge across the big, muddy river from west to east to Memphis, a darker, weighty spirit takes hold. The air turns sticky moist, the land concrete gray mixed with dark browns. With the orange and sooty rays of dawn, the questions form. Am I strong enough to go back to what I have always known? Feeling the palm-sized chipping tool in my hip pocket, I carry on. These short hop rides into cold country are slower, and the miles present more hazards. Disenchanted truckers whose time seemed to them long ago, and new angry youth striking out at anything they deem foreign. Another night growing, I seek shelter with a familiar sight, under an overpass. I should be safe for the night. Chilled to my bare bones with only this cheap cloth as my cover, I wedge my thin body ever deeply between concrete girders, ignoring pain from cramps that draw me even tighter. Big engines roar above me, dragging resisting freight, snapping steel bridge spacers like shots in the night. Below, an old pickup creeps by while looking for lumps of coal fallen over the sides. Lanterns held by small children riding in the bed sway back and forth, appearing as airborne spirits searching through the gathering veils of fall. Seeing the last shadow tops of cold slate cliffs dug out by man's machinery as great monuments to modernity, my night wears on. Between fits of dreaming and waking, breaks in time, silent screaming, I yell at myself, trying in vain to wake up. Rhythmic roars of heavy loads above me grow softer and fade to that of stream water not far away. It is hard to define the difference of dreaming and reality. A bleary good eye captures a thin mist blanketed hillside in front of me. Below lay a gently sloping hollow, the sound of a night bird singing echoing like an orchestra. Now a question that I had not pondered since leaving the desert lands man did not seem to want. Is this real, or am I hallucinating? I feel strange. My body, I mean. I should be torn and battered. I feel smooth limestone sand and granite, not concrete, on my skin. I pull my invigorated body from the corner of this rock overhang and toward the warmth and scent of a twig and leaf fire slowly burning. Reaching the ledge, taking a cross-legged position, I gaze down through the scattering wisps dancing among the branches. So beautiful the way the first sunrise kaleidoscope rainbow colors that scatter each wave like a bursting bubble. I am mesmerized just as I was atop the Sierra Nevada range on the California-Nevada border. Coming from a deep older voice, the terrible I have never heard, turning to the path leading to the edge, the old man is there. Hey, deep sight boy, you have not medicine. You cannot eat, sleep, and dream more this day. Time to feel the lessons. I obey him on instinct, no questioning, as he motions silently with leading hand. During the passing through a tree branch filtered light ray, I glance only quickly his purple curled lips covering missing teeth. I know this scarred jawline, and I feel an ease come over me. Living or dead, time-slipped or malnourished tripping, I feel belonging and love. Swinging from water vines and down giant oak roots spry in the cool mountain air, the man I come to feel as grandfather, leads the way. Slipping and almost falling into the beaver dam pond at Pass End, not caring, exuberance fills my frame. "Stop that blinded plane," comes the loud warning to my ears. "Young lives and dreams, you must capture your name." I have forgotten my name and pushed deep inside any reason to have one after my desert searching. I have even let loose the questions I sought or the answers I may find. I feel an inherent blood name, my hand pointing toward a steel pond reflecting billowingly white clouds among rotting stumps. I am bright little cloud, son of nourishing cloud, my mother earth cloud. Climbing upon the muddy branches of the beaver lodge, high above the dam, feeling the cool wet leaves slide between my naked thighs, touch off burning in my loins. Like a conquering warrior taking what I wanted, changing my reality to my needs, proclaiming, "I am beaver, sharp-toothed flat-tail I am. I am beaver leader cloud." Taking in the images of my glorious moment with the reflection on the pond, suddenly a huge brown slick master beaver emerges defiant from his hole, slapping his tail against the surface. Splashes, then concaving ripples destroy my illusion as his angry battering forces me to jump back onto the bank. Beaten am I, in my time or any. I am none. I am empty, waiting for the filling. I should just return to what I have known. Hoisted me out of the mud, his hand strong yet carry. "The end of days is not upon you yet, young man child. I can show you if you are open to learn." The slope back to our shelter ledge seems laborious, and at the top I feel will not be rest, but long night travails to come. The flickering small fire makes the granite ceiling above our long stretching lead fill with long storied shadows. Past fathers and mothers from before realized time display skills of survival. I absorb with love as each burning wet leaf casts a new story to tell. An oppressive weight seems to be pressing on my chest. All shadow lessons are dimming, overwhelmed by darkness, their arms wavering and bodies collapsing, looking toward Elder, his shape diminishing. One slight look is all you grant me? Silence overcomes the night birds, the stream overwhelmed, as this torrent of wind-guided rain puts out my small flame. Storm winds pelt my unguarded skin. The unseen forces lift me against the rock overhang. I am spinning out to the edge of the ledge, but I only grasp moss-covered shards. I gain a foothold in a cupped oak root. This cannot be all, not the end. My thoughts are racing between desires, not knowing if I am dead or dreaming this fate. Filling with staggering power, a familiar presence leaps from my mind and body. Led by the chipping tool I had found on the desert mountain, a shaft of concentrated light is pulling me along toward the rock face at lightning speed, splitting the granite, spreading the hillside open, revealing an underground world. Confused by what I find, I am disheartened in body and mind. It is a coal seam so dark rich with layered texture, yet so inviting a find. Gliding within spreading walls among this maze of column upon column, sensing they are ready to fall, burying me with no name at all. In halting sentences, I hear a voice echoing in my head, not verbal or moving air. Smell my ancient burial ground of earth's time primordial. Join my domain once hidden tall. Speak of time, speak of questions, young hunter. I answer your call. You have no future. You have no past. I can answer all you may ask. Of each particular thing, ask. What is man's nature? What is his task? What does man do? The reason you ask? He kills methodically and seals his fate. No, that is incidental. What is the first and principal thing he does? What need does he serve by killing? Anger? Social acceptance? Life and hunger frustrations? No! Man covets. That is man's nature. How does man begin to covet, young hunter? Does he seek out things to covet? Answer me now. We just know. Man begins by coveting what he sees every day. Can't you feel the eyes moving over your youthful body? Doesn't your eye seek out those you want? I have accepted these wants and put them aside. It is not material wealth and others' beauty I desire. The questions you seek are a riddle about time, collapsed into my cavernous spine. Adding your pure humanity, we shall be one within the deep and dominate over time. Hey, Mountain Devil, I now feel your name. You are incarnate poison, one and the same. Your world has dominated since the great catalysm covered mine. Inland seas with lush bogs are covered. I mourn the loss of time. We can bring humanity's demise. Free me now. Join me and disguise my intentions. I cannot betray life as I know it. I seal the air of poisons so the living will not die and rot. If it is my fate to join you, then so be it. Grasping the pillars of coal to either side, the ceiling collapses. My mind is finally silent. Millennia passed after the legend was born of how the young cloud stopped the smoldering blackness from escaping the strange dark ribbon. The long ledge and overhang became a sacred name, cloud that lives in dreams, protector from the air that poisons man. Whenever the strange black ribbon glows red, sending thick black smoke away from the hillside, it is required to gather the youngest hunters and build a small twig and leaf fire in front of the granite walls. The elder cloud drops wet leaves, and the shadows appear to tell the story again. It ends when the dark envelops the figures that wave their arms, sending a pillar of bright white smoke rising from the small fire. As it rises, it twists around the coils of black poison smoke until forming a rain cloud, extinguishing the strange black ribbon. A version of the legend still mentioned in local folklore through song talks of pillars of mist forming to put out the coal fires. The native peoples gone long ago. The ledge, home of cloud that lives in dreams, turned to rubble, filling the stream and hollow, making way for concrete paths and bridges on which steel monsters speed. Huge machines came and removed the rich coal vein once covered by rock and soil that trapped it, burned in plants to power society. Fog still forms hugging, searching the ground, not in pillars, but spread out in waves. Along with the beavers and forests, all the coal is gone. Now there is no force to stop the primordial spirit from its plan, the demise of man. If you need sight, taste, smell, and feel to know this truth, you will find it burning under Hazard, Kentucky town. One winter day, the local paper and TV news announced a bridge inspection crew found a cloth-wrapped mummified body wedged deep between the girders below I-64 exit 133B. The state police are on the scene. On camera, a young man said, "It could have been there a long time. due to the inspection schedule, which is every 10 years, adding, "Man, it looks like an alien." Travelin Dave, Easter, Sunday, April 1st, 2018. Thank you.